just watching my guys out there and not being there, it definitely hurt. And it was around the end of the semester, like end of classes, and Coach Vic called me. It was just like, we could really use you and whatever. So I just wanted to come back out and help my team. And so, yeah, that conversation with him definitely kind of sparked something in me. Like, damn, like I need to get back with my team. Like I have no reason not to be over there. So, like, I finished the school because, like I was saying before, like partially some of the reason why I took off was just to clear my academics and make sure my academics were straight. And then classes ended, so I had nothing else to do but come back here and help the team. So it made it easy to come back after the classes ended.
Were you back in Florida at that time?
Yeah, I was back in Florida, just training and doing school.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, how quick was the turnaround from that call from Vic to you're back on campus?
A week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's quick, yeah.
How quickly were you able to like kind of transition back in at practice? Like,
it definitely took a week to get in football shape. Like, even though I was running and training the whole time I was in Florida, it's just nothing like football shape with pads and going a 10-play drive. Like, that'll get you real tired. So it took me about a week, I'd say.
I remember during the pandemic, guys talked about you taking your training pretty seriously.
Yeah.
What was your regimen, I guess, when you were?
So my mom she's a former figure competitor. She used to get on stage and compete like IFBB Pro, whatever. So now she's a personal trainer. So I would go to the gym every morning with her at like 7 and just do my own training and then run in the afternoon and just make sure I'm getting a lot of sleep. And she cooks really well too, so she was just making sure my nutrition was spot on. So I saw a lot of gains definitely during that time.
Okay.
Like, what was the diet?
Just a lot of lean foods, not a lot of fast food or takeout. She was just cooking a lot of like organic stuff. So
how much of your time were you spending training? It seemed like
a lot, yeah.
It seemed like you showed some results pretty quick.
I'll say like 3 hours a day at least.
Okay.
But split up, not like 3 hours all at once, like chunked out like 3 1-hour blocks or like something like that.
Okay.
What was the weight change or pound difference?
Say it again.
Did you put weight change from all that?
I actually lost weight. I think I lost about 10 pounds.
Yeah.
I went from 265 to 255, and I feel like I really got my feet back under me, got my legs really healthy again, and could run really well, move really well. So I was happy with those results.
What about gains, like in bench
or
squats?
I would say I probably increased my squat the most. Got my legs really strong. Just focused a lot on my legs.
What were the numbers there?
It's like probably like 450, 465, like around there.
What inspired you, I guess, to take your training that much more serious? Just the quarantine, you had nothing better to do? Or?
Yeah, and kind of going back to your first question, just being away from the game for so long in 2018 and just kind of starting to get my confidence back. Like, my body's feeling really good. Like, I feel like I'm ready to get back into football and I could stay healthy. So just training every day and feeling that and gaining the confidence, it made me work harder because I really felt like I could stay healthy and do this.
How do you look back on this whole journey? You've been through 3 D-line coaches. You didn't play for 2 years.
It's definitely, like you said, it's a journey, and it's been tons of ups and downs, but I couldn't be more proud of myself for being here today and sticking through it all and, just fighting through adversity. So I'm really happy with how everything's went, and I wouldn't take anything back.
When you go through 2019, the lost year, and then the opt-out last year, did you ever think that you were going to be making 2 sacks on a Saturday?
Well, to be honest, back in through that time, like 2018, 2019, I definitely had thoughts of maybe medically retiring. So it's such a blessing to be healthy and be back here, and just those thoughts are completely gone. Just loving football and just love being out here with my guys. So
how close did you come with that?
Not super close, but it definitely popped in my head, and I'm just happy to be out of that place.
What was the lowest point, I guess, for you in terms of thinking that, or when?
When? I would just say like 2019, because 2018 I played. 2019 I had a great spring. I started summer, and then I kind of just messed up my calf and just kept re-messing it up. And yeah, during the season, probably like week 5, because we kept trying to come back. Like, we're not going to call this season quits, so we're going to just keep trying to rehab it. And about like the 5th time or 4th time I pulled my calf, they told me it was done, and like I had to think about what I was going to do, how I was going to rehab this, how we were going to approach this surgery, what we were going to do. So that was a tough point. I didn't really know what the future held, and man, I'm just happy with how everything split up.
How did that idea of maybe not being able to play football again, how did that sit with you at that time?
It did not sit well. It did not sit well. You know, you never want to give up the game, so man, it did not sit well. And that's why I fought so hard back during COVID to get back to this, because I realized I really love it. And just being away from the game like that, it really makes you how much you love it and need it.
When you find out that the season's going to get delayed with all of COVID, how demoralizing was that at the time? Because it seems like you were kind of
Working
ready
so hard,
to sort of jump back into it.
Yeah, when it first originally got canceled, it was terrible, you know, because we all put so much work in. Back there was where we were lifting. We couldn't lift in the weight room, so it just seemed like we were going above and beyond for so many different things, and it didn't look like we were going to get to play. And then kind of being told we're going to get to play, and then, you know, I still have thoughts like, okay, are they going to call it off again, and like what's going on? So yeah, it was just a tough situation, man. Really tough.
What kind of role did you expect this year?
What kind of role did I expect this year?
Are you playing more than you thought you would?
Not necessarily, you know. I just think I could help this team, and wherever the coaches see fit, and however they see my abilities fitting into this defense is how it should be used. So I wouldn't say it's more or less. I think it's kind of as expected.
Was it harder for you just having your parents across the country, not being close to family and stuff like that, as you were trying to figure out, you know, whether or not to go through the season or opt out?
I would say it was harder because obviously, you know, most of these players are from California, and, you know, if something goes wrong or like we couldn't use the weight room, a lot of these people have resources out here in California, and I just didn't have that because a lot of my connections are in Florida, whether it be like massage or my parents, like you're saying. So just not having those same resources that my teammates had, it kind of made it tough. But it wasn't like there wasn't one thing that just solely made me opt out. Like it was a lot of things. It was definitely a combination.
The first career sack, that moment, what's it like for you?
It's awesome, man. Like we've been talking about, 3 years away from the game, like that's a lot of time, man. A lot went through my head, and it was amazing. It keeps adding to the confidence, adding to everything.
Did you get a lot of texts and stuff like that?
For sure, family, friends, everything, all just congratulating me, mostly for fighting through adversity, just because it takes a lot, you know. You could think your career's over, and then just have that mental switch, like, nah, I'm not going out like that. Like, I can fix this. And it's fixed.
When did you have that mental switch?
Just like between like 2018, 2019, like that summer when I just kept pulling it over and over again and going through such like a dark mental period, and just not knowing like what's wrong with it. Like it just keeps pulling, like, and then we finally get a surgery and it starts feeling better and better, and it was a long recovery. It was like an abnormal surgery called compartment syndrome.
Okay.
And we did a fasciotomy. That was the surgery.
Okay.
So like it's just not a very common surgery, and it was a really weird rehab. But probably a year after the surgery, I was feeling close to 100% and back feeling great now. So
How long did it take to get that diagnosis of compartment syndrome?
it took a little while, yeah. Because the first pull happened probably in the summer, and then summer of 2019, and then I didn't get the surgery until December. So like almost 5 months, 6 months.
Weird rehab, how?
Just like, cause they just, I don't know how to explain it to you. It's just, just like a lower leg injury. Like, cause compartment syndrome is essentially when a lot of pressure builds up in the muscles, and they have to cut the fascia to release some pressure. So just rehabbing back from that was just, I don't know. It's nothing like I've ever rehabbed from. Cause I had a knee scope and I had a hernia and like regular, I don't know. It's a hard thing to describe.
Okay.
So how do you look at the future now? What are your ambitions or hopes moving forward?
Well, I hope we just keep building on this last win last week, get a win this week, you know, win out, end up in the Pac-12 championship. Hopefully just keep building my career, building my resume, and just keep having fun with this.
Are you hoping to come back next year?
I'm not sure about that yet. We'll see.
Thank you, Jake.